got to get into it today. We have a Salt Lake trailer. We've got Garcelle's son doing some stuff. Let's just Sarah
Isn't that
Fraser.
bananas? David Yontef. Oh my gosh. Always a treat to see you. Adore you.
Where do you want to talk about Garcelle's son just to start? And no, we don't mean Jax and all these things about the bots. And hey, guys, you know what? We covered that. Go listen to the episodes from the past 2, 3, 4 weeks. We're not done covering that. We're open to it. But now we got to talk about Oliver Garcelle's other son.
Who knew Oliver was so busy and wanted to be on reality TV so badly? I didn't know. Did you? I had no idea.
Well, here's the thing. Who knew Oliver was so hot? Now, I never found him unattractive. I think he's cute. But between Erica Jane basically lusting over him, I'm like, is there another gentleman in the Bravoverse that I have like underlooked? Like, I need to now Google, really, this is my note to myself.
Me too. I'm Googling him.
I want to see like shirtless pictures of Oliver. Like, I need to investigate this because I mean, he's not hot. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the lust that I have for like, you know, like Steve Gold from $1 Million Listing. I might have overlooked a gem here. I mean, everyone seems to want Oliver. And according to you, I guess Oliver really wants to be on reality TV.
Well, I didn't think he did, but now after reading all these stories and the cheating over the weekend, I'm like, oh, Oliver's busy. I guess Oliver wants to be he's been bitten by the fame bug. I mean, Oliver's like handsome, but I don't know.
I need shirtless pics. I always reserve my actual decision until I see the shirtless pic. So I'm going to reserve. But, you know, listen, we have to start with the basic fact that, you know, he got the job at Vanderpump and the Vanderpump, you know, restaurant family, you know, he's out there work, you know, so he's, you know, well, apparently.
Did he? Because I thought it was someone.
Maybe not.
Vanderpump Rules that put out a statement that said he's only like a guest.
Vanderpump Vegas.
And a friend.
I got the, so, well, first of all, he's cheating with the part of this involves Raquel Leviss, who is a cast member on Vanderpump Rules who broke up with James. You know, Raquel dated James and Katie and Tom were married. So we're going to get more into that. But so Raquel is on the show. My understanding is that Oliver works now at like Vanderpump Vegas. And he also has a wife. Let's just say that. So he has this wife, and apparently this thing with Raquel, no one is denying that this happened. He's not denying it. Raquel's not denying it. His wife is Samantha Sanders. And she's saying like, you know, I don't blame Raquel for any of this. Raquel, her camp, apparently someone has spoken and said, you know, Raquel thought he was single, you know, or that they were going through a divorce. And that's the only reason this happened. She's not a homewrecker. I'm paraphrasing. So no one's really denying that this actually took place. The wife is coming out and saying, like, forget about Raquel. He's a total adulterer. There's a lot more than this. You know, she's just the beginning. There are these DMs which are released where I don't think it's Raquel. It looks like it's 2 other women. One of them is saying, like, I can't wait to have that big cock this weekend. Another one then says something like, you know, honey, I'm in the mood. He's like, well, maybe I'll stop by and show you what life's all about. I'm paraphrasing, but not really.
I know, you're really close. That's basically it. I mean, like I said, I just didn't expect him to be so busy. Now, I mean, obviously you can't blame Garcelle for this. I mean, Garcelle has done everything for her son. She's been so supportive. She's been, you know, he's been through, you know, it's no secret. They talk about it on the show, and so did Samantha. You know, he's had real addiction issues. I mean, he's been to rehab at least once or twice. I mean, he's overcome, I believe he's sober now. I don't know anything about, you know, I wouldn't comment on that at all, but they have talked about that on the show. So I don't feel like I'm sharing anything that isn't out there. I mean, it's just so, it's got to be disheartening for Garcelle, like to see all this, I think. But again, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He really wants to be on television. So, okay, this makes sense. Like this guy sees an opportunity and he's like, I'm fucking out. It seemed, look, Samantha's messages seemed pretty, I thought, like coherent, to the point, and really disappointing. I mean, like she said, I've sacrificed my career. I paid for Oliver long before the TV show. Like I supported our family. I believed in this man so much. And now like I mean, it's sad to see it. And then, you know, he responded and he said, look, the father or the mother of my son, is putting our business out online or something like to that degree, and basically commented. And it's like, yeah, well, I kind of believe her side of the story. I mean, it
Is
sounds
she like, wait, so he's doing this now? I can get my name in page 6. I mean, oh, everybody just slow down. And there also is this scene, the screenshot. Now, mind you, LVP and Garcelle have met before, and they're friends. There's this screen, and they say it's an organic friendship. It's not just talking about the show and their dislike of Kyle and the Fox Force 5. And I don't know, I'm sure that comes up, guys. But there is this picture of her and Garcelle Vanderpump, and it's like, oh, is this gonna be like, is Garcelle gonna make a cameo on Vanderpump Rules? Like, what does Lisa do? Call and say, hello, darling. Yes, no, we can meet, but I do need. So they meet, and darling, I wish this were under better circumstances. Like, I do need to talk to you about your son who's in my employ. Now, you know, we've had a little bit of like scandal in the past. And then they do a screenshot of like Jax and like sleeping with Kristen, and this one sleeping with that one. And she's like, no, darling, it seems like Oliver is caught up in some of the Vanderpump Rules like drama. And it's like, I just want Garcelle to make a cameo on Vanderpump Rules, guys.
He's going to, according to page 6, this article just came out. This is very, very telling. I also, okay, this is my little bit of
what does it say? It says this scene will be in there, because I read various things.
Well, it says they were okay, this article dropped September 2nd.
Yeah, it says they were filming.
They were filming at West Hollywood in Palm.
Wow.
Garcelle and LVP. I mean,
look,
you don't
that's just and I think they're going to use that. And you don't think, look, we got a TV. You don't think that's a little bit of a fuck you by Vanderpump and Miss Bouvet to like Lisa Rinna? And I mean, good for you girls, like Kyle Richards, like Garcelle's like, girls, please, I'm making an appearance on Lisa's show, like the show that's actually Lisa's. And don't you all want your own spinoff? And yes, by the way, that was my accent. That was my British. I did my Dorit a few weeks ago. That was my Vanderpump. No, I think it's a little bit of a fuck you. I believe that they have an organic friendship and they don't just sit around and talk about Vanderpump Rules. But we're also, and we can say whatever else you want about this, we're also like burying the lead of like, you say Oliver's busy. What about fucking Raquel? I mean, she also is at Sheena's wedding with freaking Tom Schwartz. And I mean, is Raquel? I mean, I would like to know the timeline of this. Like, do you want to get on Oliver's dick, or are you still with Schwartzy? Like, what's going on? I mean, Schwartzy is a gentle, I think, soul at this point after the breakup. I mean, you know, like, is Schwartzy going to have some... Was Schwartzy a rebound from James? Like, is Oliver a rebound? What? Raquel, girl, come on this Behind the Velvet Rope. We have to get to the bottom of it.
She's got a lot going on, too. They're very busy. But wait a minute. My producer hat says to me, I mean, don't we think it's fascinating where we've been talking, and we're not the only ones, that Vanderpump Rules is sort of teetering on